news for people.
I've heard you're a short timer. But.
Either way, let's pray. Lord God, I thank you for all of the activities, the clubs, the teams that we have here in this community, both the people who participate and those who lead them. Watch over all of the people as they travel across this state and across our community. Keep them safe in the rest of the winter and help us to look forward to a beautiful summer and all that that brings. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please take your seats. Thank you, Pastor Sam. Just want to wish everybody a happy St. Patrick's Day before we get started here. Lacey, are there any changes tonight?
Yes, tonight under special business, we would like to add Oahe Capitals U14 girls hockey team state champions and the Oahe Lady Capitals varsity hockey team third place.
All right, we will proceed with those changes under special business. The first item tonight is the public comment period. We set aside 15 minutes each week for public comment, and each person presenting is limited to 3 minutes. And in the essence of time, we've got a whole bunch of kids here tonight after public comment that need to get to volleyball, so we're going to truly limit it to the 3-minute limit on the speaking. So with that in mind, on the public comment, is there anybody here to present tonight? Let us know who you are.
Of course. Good evening, Commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Sigrid Swanson, and I am here tonight to respectfully request that the city hold a public town hall or a forum to discuss the Elizabeth Street project with a focus on the plans for the intersection of Grand and Elizabeth. I ask that the city follow a process similar to how the state provided public engagement during the Euclid Avenue project. That process created space for residents to better understand the plans, ask questions, and feel informed about decisions that impact their daily lives. I believe this project would benefit from the same level of transparency and engagement. Right now, there are questions in the community, and more importantly, a strong interest in understanding not just what is planned, but why. I spoke with a city commissioner earlier today who indicated the city views this as a standard curb, gutter, and road maintenance project. I was surprised by that characterization. From my perspective, this is a more significant street project, one that expands the roadway and changes not just its form, but its function. It goes beyond simply replacing and upgrading what currently exists. One challenge we've experienced is that it's been difficult to find a consistent avenue for shared discussion. We've requested to be put on the City Commission agenda and were directed to provide public comment. This, of course, only allows for a one-way conversation. And truth be told, it's hard to fit much of substance into 3 minutes or less. Since learning of this project last summer, communication has felt fragmented. Different people are picking up different pieces of information, and without a setting where everyone can hear the same information at the same time, it's hard to build a shared understanding of the full scope of the project. A town hall or a forum would help address that. It would ensure accurate information is shared broadly, allow residents to ask questions directly, and create space for constructive dialogue. Equally important, it would provide an opportunity for public input. If that input ultimately needs to be funneled through the commissioners such as yourselves or follow a specific process, we respect that and are willing to work within those guidelines. But creating a clear and accessible starting point for that dialogue is key. This is about building trust, improving communication, and making sure the community is included in decisions that affect them. I hope you will consider hosting a town hall for this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Sigurd. Is there anybody else from the public?
Hello, my name is Kevin Kumpf. I'm a resident of Pierre's Hill Historic District. I come to you today asking similarly to Sigrid that the city hold a public forum to present to the public what problems we are solving on the corner of Elizabeth and Grand, what data supports this change, and what alternatives have been considered to address residents' concerns. These are simple questions whose answers will help us all understand the objective of this project. I think we can agree that without an understanding of the city's objective, we will all fail to find common ground. Right now, this type of clarity seems to be lacking, which was evident at yesterday's Historic Preservation Commission meeting, which I attended. There it was shared that the State Historic Preservation Office is unable to make a determination on the project until the city and DOT determine if this work is in addition to the Euclid project application that was already approved or a new additional project. While a forum similar to those hosted by DOT for the Euclid project would be preferred, I think, for all parties, there is the option of a special commission meeting. According to city ordinance, the mayor or any two commissioners can call a special meeting to discuss a matter, and those are public meetings just like these. We would see any effort to open those lines of communication and bring clarity to this project as progress. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Anybody else from the public?
I'm Mark Zickrick. I'm just here to second what Kevin and Sigrid have said. I'm probably one of the longest-term residents of the Historic District, having lived in the district 34 years. We strongly supported the creation of the district and are just kind of dismayed at what we're hearing or what we're not hearing about what is going to be actually happening on the edge of the district. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Anybody else from the public? I see no one moving towards the microphone now, so we will move into our special business, and it's a big night for some of our local peer youth. We're going to start it off with the TF Riggs culinary team, and we have peer Pro Start coach Kisha Jordan, and the student team members will be here as well. So welcome.
So last year we promised to bring snacks, and so this is our dessert, and I'm going to let the team introduce themselves and what they did for competition. Yes.
My name is Kate Stoley, and I'm the manager.
Hello, I'm Christian Stanley, and I made the starter, which is this thing. It's pan-seared scallops. It's a kind of an orange soy sauce with, they're essentially pickles. We used a weird whipped cream charger for them, but because we had an hour, and you can't pickle things in an hour. And this is just some arugula as a garnish.
I'm Tanner Taylor, and I did the middle one here. It is a pan-fried duck served on a bed of saffron rice with a salted lacy ginger twill. This is an avocado smear with spicy pineapple chutney and stir-fried mushrooms.
My name is Emma Robertson. I did the dessert, which is this right here. It is a hibiscus poached pear with a panko pistachio crumble, an uzu mascarpone, and a balsamic fig reduction.
My name is Zoe Kinney, and I'm the floater. I just helped with certain components of the dishes, and I did all of our knife cuts.
Thank you so much.
All right, well, thank you for coming in. This looks way better than what I had planned for dinner at our house tonight. Coach, do you have any comments? I think you were here about a year ago talking about your success, and I assume that's part of what tonight's presentation is.
Yes, so I have a few of the team that was from last year, so this is their second year. If they want to raise their hand, these are graduating or graduating out of the program, so very happy for them to be here. And we also have some new blood this year, so we have Tanner, he's our first year senior, and then we have Emma, she's a junior, and we have Kate, who is also a junior. So these three, this is the first year they competed, so I'm very proud of them. Nationals is in April, the end of April, and so we've been doing a mad dash of fundraising because we're really excited about heading back to Baltimore.
So you have qualified for the national
Yes, we have
competition.
qualified. We are state champions, so we are going to nationals
Okay,
to
well.
represent South Dakota.
Well, that is exciting. Pierre raises a lot of championship teams from hockey to football to culinary. It's wonderful. we raise a lot of good kids out here. So thank you for coming. Thank you for the dessert and the food. It looks absolutely wonderful. And anything else you'd like to add? We're excited to have you.
I think that's about it. We're just really excited to be here, and we appreciate you guys recognizing them and their talent, and we hope you enjoy your guys' dessert. So,
All right. Thank you for coming in tonight.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. All right. Next.
If you have an extra one, you can.
Second item, keep an eye on that, Commissioner Johnson there. The second presentation tonight, another state champion, is the Oahe Capitals U14 girls hockey team. And we have coaches Bryce Baker, Caitlin Swenson, and Ryan McIntyre.
Yeah. Caitlin didn't make it tonight. I guess I'm Bryce Baker. Ryan's down there. I'll let the girls just kind of go through, introduce themselves.
Please.
Maybe ask you girls, so several of these girls play on both the U14 and varsity. So maybe the girls that play on both, mention if you're playing on both, or if you're just on U14, or if you're just on varsity. Why don't you guys go through here?
I'm Mallory Lerkamp, the assistant captain for U14, and I do play varsity.
My name is Dakota McIntyre, and I play U14 and varsity.
I'm Piper Dooley, and I play U14.
I'm Quinn Baker, and I play U14.
I'm Taylor Allerdings, and I play U14 and varsity.
I'm Sonia John, and I play varsity and U14.
My name is Morgan Friedel, and I play U14.
My name is JC, and I play for just U14.
My name is Ember Drew, and I play for U14.
My name's Pete, and I play U14 and varsity.
My name's Kenley, and I play varsity.
My name is Kate, and I play varsity.
All right, well, thank you, girls. Coaches, you got some, tell us a little bit about everything you got going on here.
Yeah, I'll just mention, we didn't have a real great showing tonight, on the varsity-only group with the St. Patrick's Day Parade, and I think there's National Honor Society inductions and things like that. We have a really good, well-rounded group. In fact, you've noticed Kate's here twice tonight as part of the culinary team and on our hockey team. With the U14 deal, this is the second time. We've won state now in 4 years, so in 2023 we won. 6 of the girls then are two-time champions at U14, so they were on the team in 2023 that won and on it again this year. As far as the dual rostering, the going back and forth, we're a really young team with a lot of really good talent young. And so that's why so many of these girls that are on the U14 team also play quite a bit of varsity. Specifically Taylor right here as our goalie, was the goalie in both state tournaments, the U14 and the varsity tournament both. So we've got a lot of good young talent in our program. We're really proud about that. We're also always looking for more girls, and then this is a great opportunity, a great time to grow girls hockey in the country with some of the recognition hockey's been getting this winter. So we would certainly love and entertain any more support and any more kids that we can get and keep kind of building our program. But this girls hockey program's done really well here for the last several years. The varsity team then won third at state. 2011's the only other time that they've won third. So kind of a tie for our best finish ever at the varsity level. But good group of kids and a good, hardworking and well-rounded group of kids that we're pretty proud of.
Well, it's very exciting. Represented Pierre real well once again, and just glad you took the time to get here. I know kids have some of them got to get to volleyball. There's a parade. There's
softball practice.
Softball.
Yeah. We do have the 3 girls that are playing at national.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
For Team South Dakota.
Yeah. So I have 3 girls that are on South Dakota select team that'll be at the high school nationals this weekend in Minnesota, and then there's a couple of you on the U14 national. And that's next weekend where? Detroit, Michigan. And then is Elliot's on the U16 team as well? And Ava. So we got a couple on the U16 national team too. So some kids have really done well in hockey beyond just in Pierre too.
So truly some of the best hockey players in the state.
On the girls' side, we got some of the best, and I would put us up against about anybody for that, for sure.
Well, appreciate you coming in.
Yep.
Congratulations, girls. We're glad to have you, and hopefully you guys can get on to your next commitments before the day's over. So thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Lacey, I assume item number 3 here was That was a combined,
Yeah.
correct, okay. Okay, the final item under special business tonight, we have the South Dakota Department of Transportation Euclid Avenue closure update, and we have Dean Vanderwilly. Welcome, Dean.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Again, my name is Dean Vanderwiller with South Dakota DOT. And just want to give you guys an update on everything that's happening up on Euclid Avenue. I may go, who's ever running the prompter, to the next map, and I'll just do an overview of where we are. And so just to orientate everyone looking at the map, the very bottom of the map, it looks like a dark brown color. That's Winoka Street, where the Catholic Church is. Where you see the lime green is Winoka Street outfall. The blue call out is Elizabeth Street. Where you see the bottom of yellow and black, that's 4th Street, and then we continue north. So just as I talk here, it may be kind of helpful for folks to just be studying the map. So as of March 9th, we actually installed all traffic control, or we had a closure in that brown area, and that is what we call 3A. And that closure is immediately north of Broadway, there's barricades there, and south of Elizabeth. So that went into place, and the traffic signal at Elizabeth is still operational. So we're using that, again, with barricades on the south side. What's interesting is that area that's blue and gray, is that area is currently open. There's no construction going on in that middle zone. And actually for up through, I would say, late June, construction is in the south third of your map and the north third. And up at 4th Street, which is right there where yellow and black begin, we put in stop signs at that location on all legs. Now, for those that live here, we're all aware that you go north on Euclid, connecting our eastern part of the town to the western part. 4th Street is just a major leg that's integral to folks here. So we put in a right turn lane with a stop sign for northbound to eastbound. So what we have going right now is we actually have road closed again, to summarize, in the brown. And then we have two-way traffic in the yellow north of 4th Street as the contractor's working in the black. And finally, the lime green that you're seeing is the Winoka Street outfall. And in that area, Evans Street is closed north and south of Winoka as the contractor's working to actually do the storm sewer. If you remember, we were in the Hilgers Gulch last year, and so that continues that to the west. So those are all the areas where traffic control is set up. Traffic control is something that we're always tweaking, we're always looking at. I know the stop signs at 4th, we're going to do some add-ons to make them more visible. And that will be our new norm, as I think many have heard, there will be a traffic signal going in at 4th here coming down the road. So I want to dive in a little deeper now to just some general comments. The dates on the right are general as far as a high-level construction schedule. Those will change. And as we progress, as things go more efficiently or we have setbacks, but that's a high level that'll cover right now. So that area in brown that's currently closed, that's anticipated to be fully open in July, in mid-July. Now in the end of June, the contractor will start migrating into that blue area between Elizabeth and 4th Street on the right side. Now that'll be the first time that will actually be, from then on actually is a better way to say it, we'll be in a two-way traffic configuration from Elizabeth north for the remainder of the construction season. After, if that makes sense, after mid-June. You'll be always beside construction from Elizabeth north. Now, kind of a nice milestone that we can watch out for is the end of July will be the first time we'll be able to go Sioux Avenue to the north end of the job. And so we'll be able to drive completely through, and we'll actually be on new highway from Elizabeth, or new Euclid Avenue from Elizabeth north on the colors blue and black, or basically Elizabeth to 4th and 4th Street north. So that's really going to be our norm, if I'm making sense, is a two-way traffic configuration from Elizabeth north after June. Winoka Street should be wrapping up here end of May is what they're anticipating by the timetable. And the only other caveat that I want to share with folks on traffic control is there's a large amount of utilities that have to be adjusted on the south side of 4th Street. And though we're going to have that closed for upwards of 3 weeks in order to allow those utilities to be adjusted. That's going to come late June, early July time frame when that does happen. So that's kind of a high level of what we're looking at schedule. Right now, things are working pretty well as far as traffic control out there. to give an update of what's happening where, just a progress. So let me stop right there. Is there any questions on what I brought up here on this map here? There's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, Todd, go ahead.
Thank you. I've got some concerns from some of the parents that live on the east side of Euclid above 4th Street.
Oh, sure.
I just wanted to pass, because we've got, of course, construction weather is kids walking to school weather.
Right.
So they cross. I see we've got the flashing light space are blocked off because of the construction. So any of those kids that used to walk and utilize that, they'll be pushed down to 4th Street. There's some concerns. So the new stop signs, you said more signage. Are you going to mark all of them, all-way stops
Correct.
eventually?
That's one of the changes that we're going to make. And then we're going to
Okay.
do some things to make them really stand out, just to kind of get folks used to that's our situation now, as a signal will be coming later and when the job's done.
Yep. And then there's a solid divider that separates the lines, and it's about the height of a younger kid. So there's
sure.
concerns if they're crossing from east to west. The people that stop at that stop sign, if they take a quick glance, they might not see him behind those solid dividers. So, you know, if a kid keeps coming and they hit the gas, they might be in front of them. But I don't have the exact number, how many walk from there, but it's quite a few of our low-income kids, so probably more than other parts of town. And we put the flashing crosswalk in originally to address some of those extra concerns. And I just wondered if there was a few things that we could look at before we really get into, well, I guess you're already doing it, but just so you can think about as far as kids crossing on 4th Street there.
And I think the plan right now is to make a crossing like at 6th Street, because we don't want them walking down the east side between like 4th and 6th. So we're going to look to make a crossing. You know, we have that rapid rate flasher now, and look to make a pedestrian crossing and then take them down the west side of 4th Street to the northwest quadrant.
Well, 6th Street had a truck in front of it, and they were loading concrete into it today, or asphalt.
Yep. But I think that's where they're looking to potentially go. That's one of the considerations for crossing. So we're not actually taking them into the construction zone. But yes, that's something, we have our weekly meeting tomorrow. We'll definitely make that a topic. I
Okay.
appreciate you bringing that up.
All right, thank you.
You bet, you bet. Other questions on that? And I got a little bit more for you, then I promise I'll wrap up. So Winoka Street right now, another traffic thing I do want to share, is progress has got us from the Gulch about halfway between Evans and Highland Avenue. Now, the contractor thinks in about 2 weeks, Morris Construction believes that early April into March, that they'll be blocking Highland, that they'll have to close Highland for about a week as they do a water line adjustment to take the storm sewer through. They'll look to open Evans Street, which is near the 1 block near the Gulch, so folks can get around there. And so we'll end up with road closed north and south of Winoka on Highland for that time frame, but we'll definitely be advertising that as we get closer. Just another progress update as far as in that brown area, Winoka to Elizabeth, all the surfacing has been removed. So that means all the asphalt, the gravel beneath it, has been removed to Oak Street. The new water lines that are being put in with the City of Pierre contract is mid-block between Winoka and Oak Street. And we have storm sewer immediately north of Winoka. So things are progressing north is just a status update in that segment that appears brown on your screen. And the last segment I'll comment on is the black segment north of 4th Street. All the asphalt has been removed there, and they're currently removing the gravel base below. Now what they'll do is they'll prep the dirt below, and then they'll start placing storm sewer, the concrete trunk line that'll take our storm water. So that's kind of how progress is going right now. And I'll change gears to the second map. Whoever is running the prompter is doing a great job. I thank them. I'm jumping all over. This is a map also out on the DOT website, and this shows the detour around Euclid. And so as you can see at Pierre Street and Sioux Avenue, we're taking Sioux to Wells to Garfield to the 4-lane to get you back to 1804 north up by the DCI building. So the last thing I really wanted to share with folks is there's a lot of changes going on. So you see the 1, 2, and 3 on that slide. There's many ways that we're wanting to communicate with all patrons as far as commuters up and down Euclid Avenue. And the text, if you text the word Euclid to the phone number on your screen, those are texts coming from our staff that working with our DOT communication team. The DOT website has this map, has write-ups, has photos of the project. The South Dakota 511 down below is what we want everyone to look at for weather and construction, and it has a link back to number 2. And something else I'd really like to promote is that we have weekly meetings on Wednesdays. And those are at the AGC building in the northeast quadrant of Highland and Capitol. And we welcome the public at 11 o'clock. And our local media has been wonderful to work with. DRG News, KCCR, they've been coming and covering. The contractor's been explaining what's happening in the coming couple of weeks. So you'll hear that on your radio stations and on their websites as well. So really some great resources that I really encourage folks to tap into, because that's where you're going to get the latest information. Everything I shared with you could change. This is a high level in March. So those are kind of the things. And I have to give one last shout out to the city of Pierre. Nick Herricks with your snow removing department really worked well with Morris, salted, plowed, coordinated. This last storm, they did a great job of keeping Euclid really, really safe for folks commuting through the job. So really appreciate those efforts from City of Pierre and working with the contractor. So that's my update. I hope I didn't confuse everyone royally, but if there's any last questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you, Dean, for coming in. I mean, we all know that road construction projects they're never fun when you're living in the process. But this is especially a project of this significance. This isn't just a block of water or something like that. I mean, This is a cup, from bottom to top is 2 miles, and it's a big project. And you had a good summer last summer. Got a lot of stuff done in the 25 season, and you're up and rolling already in March of 26, and eventually we'll get there. It's never fun living in it, but it's just how it works. And this road had not been upgraded in some time. And so any other questions for Dean tonight? If not, we thank you for coming in and appreciate the update, and we'll probably see you, during this process. I assume you'll be in there once or twice.
Yes, I'd be happy to. If anyone needs anything, comments, we'd appreciate it. We definitely want a safe project out there.
Absolutely. Our city and DOT folks are working hand in hand, because this isn't just you. There's a lot of stuff going on here.
There's a lot of coordination behind the scenes, a lot of work going on. And yes, I mean, there may be things that we're missing, so I appreciate the comments from Commissioner Johnson. They're all good. And again, the more we can keep people safe out there, because there is a mixture of pedestrians, of vehicles, there's a lot of stuff going on, and folks can get lost in all the orange out there. So yes, appreciate it. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
All right, so that ends our special business tonight. So now we will move on to the consent calendar. The first item we have is the minutes of the regular meeting of March 10th, 2026. We've got a new hire in the wastewater sewer collection maintenance technician of Gabriel Gary. We have a new volunteer firefighter application for Christian Rogers. We're setting March 31, 2026 at 5:45 p.m. for a public meeting for the temporary alcohol license for the Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Lake Sharp Showdown Fishing Tournament in Steamboat Park for April 25 and 26 of 2026. We've got a raffle request from the Paws Animal Rescue, raffle request from the Central South Dakota Recreation Committee, a raffle request from Countryside Support and Memory Center Rally for Robert Dice Run Event, and we have the claims. Is there a motion regarding the consent calendar?
Make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
Got a motion and second. Lacey, please call the roll.
Commissioner Huizinga?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Lursa? Aye. Reitzel?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we have nothing under unfinished business, so we'll move into new business tonight, and we have a request to purchase a street department message board, and Nick Herricks is here. Welcome, Nick.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm here this evening to request approval to purchase. It would be a pull-type message board that one would see entering an unexpected or more of a high-profile construction site. I'm sure you've seen them coming into town on Euclid and stuff. We originally budgeted $25,000 in '26 for 1 unit and plan for a second in 2027. Our street department's excavator purchase came in $35,000 under budget. We would like to use the savings to fund the purchase of a second message board this year. Currently, we have one message board. It's over 20 years old, and it was purchased used. It is a lot of times too large for the job sites to put in a lane of traffic. The newer units are much more smaller, more mobile, capable of achieving the same results. In addition to construction use, I think these message boards could be used in a variety of city events, you know, providing the public an effective way to communicate with them. I've contacted 2 vendors for pricing, and I've only received 1 price. Based on the quote, I'm looking for approval to purchase 2 message boards for the total cost of $51,700 from Northern Truck and Equipment in Sioux Falls. And that is 8 to 10 weeks for delivery.
Okay, thank you, Nick. Are there any questions regarding this purchase? I know there, with all the construction, the DOT ones are certainly getting used, and and we can always use them on our own stuff. You know, once the Euclid project winds down, we'll be doing our own stuff independent of that. So, any questions for Nick? Yes, Commissioner Johnson.
Thank you, Commissioner. So we're not expecting a quote from the second one?
I've reached out to them, and he keeps saying, I'll get you a quote, and I haven't seen it, and that was over a month ago, so.
Is this another question? Is this one of the government price contracts? So these are.
They don't offer the Sourcewell pricing, these smaller items that are under a certain dollar amount. They really don't even bother going on to Sourcewell with them. But this is a little bit of a break, buying 2 of them. It's a cost savings of about $300 to $400 per unit. Yeah.
Okay, but they would show up theoretically yet this summer during the construction season. Okay. Well, if there are no, yes.
I just want
Lisa.
to follow up with Commissioner Johnson's question. These are under the bid limit, so it's not required to purchase off of a Sourcewell contract. Usually items over the bid limit that we are required to either go out to bids, that's when we need the government contracts for. So, but since they're under that bid limit, it's okay that it's just a quote from a vendor.
Okay, thank you. So, with that, we have no further questions, and so I guess we need a motion regarding a request to purchase a message board.
Make a motion, we approve the request to purchase the street department message boards as presented and authorize the mayor to sign all related documents.
Second.
Motion is second. Lacey, please call the roll.
Commissioner Heisinger?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Wurseth? Aye. Reitzel?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you for coming in, Nick.
Thank you.
Next, under new business, we have a request to purchase an electric department service truck, and we got Devin Harris. Welcome, Devin.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm here tonight to request authorization to purchase a service truck for the electric department. This is going to come in 2 parts. First of all, we're looking at purchasing a Ford F-350 single rear wheel from Lamb Motor Company for the state bid price of $61,695. The next part, it will need the utility box, and we're looking at purchasing that from Dickinson Truck Equipment. We purchase all of our utility boxes from them for all of our trucks. And that price would be $23,457 for a total price of $85,152. This is a budgeted item, and we are under what we had budgeted. This is going to be replacing a 2016 that will actually be transferring down to the street department.
All right, well, thank you, Devin. I assume for the public, those are these gray electric department vehicles that you see driving around.
Exactly.
Some of them have a hoist on the back or a boom.
This is the one that the electrician runs. That's why it's a single rear wheel. He doesn't pull the trenchers and stuff, but he still pulls lifts and trailers in as well. So that's why it's a single rear wheel.
I assume this is a little like the fire department, where as we go, we know exactly what we want on these trucks and what we don't need, and
Exactly.
so we've got that kind of fine-tuned so we end up with the right piece of equipment, and one of our, goals as a commission, we want to hire good people, take care of them, but we also got to give them the right tools to get the job done. And I think we've done over the last 15 years, a heck of a job of upgrading a lot of this equipment that was showing some wear.
You've done a very good job, exactly.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Devin regarding the electric department? Commissioner Johnson?
Thank you, Commissioner. Is there additional cost to put the two together, or do you bring the truck to Dickinson and they actually put it on for you, and that's part of that expense?
That price of theirs includes mounting the new box on the truck, so yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, we need to take action on this electric department service truck.
Make a motion, we approve the request to purchase the electric department service truck for the amount of $85,152 and authorize the mayor to sign all related documents.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Lacey, please call the roll.
Commissioner Heisinger?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Lurseth?
Aye.
Reitzel?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in tonight, Devin. We have one more item under new business, and that is the city office closing for April 3rd, 2026, Good Friday. And so that's leading up to Easter. And so, Christie, do you have anything to add to this? We're giving the Friday off is the plan.
Commissioner, yes. Normally you have done this for the last several years. You have actually, in the past, it used to be a half a day, but probably in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, you've given the whole day off.
Okay, so our employees can spend some additional time with their families. Is there any discussion regarding that? If not, I would make a motion to close city offices on Friday, April 3rd. I propose to grant administrative leave to benefited employees who are not on leave without pay for that day, 8 hours for full-time and 4 hours for part-time employees. Is there a motion? Or is there a second?
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Lacey, please call the roll.
Commissioner Heisinger?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Lurseth?
Aye.
Reitzel?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, that concludes the agenda items tonight, but next we have dialogue, and Commissioner Reitzel.
Thank you. I have 2 slides I'll go through here tonight. The first is the Go Green and Clean 2026 volunteer projects will take place from April 22nd through May 17th. Groups may choose a project from the 2026 project list or propose a new project to complete during the program. The City of Pierre will provide garbage bags and gloves for volunteers participating in the cleanup efforts. Volunteers are encouraged to haul collected debris to the solid waste facility so materials can be weighed and included in the program's tracked totals. Groups are also asked to send photos of their volunteer crews and completed projects to help recognize community participation. Groups interested in participating or learning more should contact Brian Tipton, Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Pierre. And then I have one more slide concerning Hillsview Golf Course. The driving range at Hillsview Golf Course will open on Wednesday, March 25th at noon, and the golf course will open for play on Friday, March 27th at 10 o'clock a.m. Residents can plan their next round, explore memberships, or purchase gift cards at hillsviewgolf.com. And I would give a special thanks as well to Chad Weiss, the golf manager, and also Jordan Steiner, the golf course superintendent, for organizing the Hillsview Golf Course reopening. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Reitzel. Commissioner Johnson.
No pictures. The only thing is just a thank you to all the staff that was out early morning getting the roads cleared and the snow pushed and the salt and the sand out. So appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Lurseth.
Yes, I have one item. There we go. All right, the Pierre Fire Department conducted a joint training exercise on Monday, March 16th, with members of the 82nd Civil Support Team.
a 22-member military hazardous materials response unit based out of Ellsworth Air Force Base. The CST specializes in hazardous materials monitoring and response. During the training, Pierre firefighters practiced decontamination procedures and received a briefing on the team's capabilities and operational support. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Lacey, anything tonight?
Nothing tonight.
Christie?
I have nothing tonight. Commissioner.
Lindsay? And there should be one slide for me here. So just let me get to this. This is airport related. Based on recent TSA data, the Pierre Regional Airport now ranks 21st out of 89 essential air service markets nationwide, placing our airport in the top quarter of the EAS airports for passenger activity. This places us in the top 25% of the EAS markets for passenger activity. And so things continue to go well to get to that point. We're putting a lot of people on on planes, and it's going well out there. So anyway, we're pretty happy about that. The only thing that could derail us right now is the TSA people are not getting paid because of some things not going well in DC at the federal level, but hopefully they can work through that. And we just, those employees have been working without pay for a number of weeks now. And so hopefully we get through that. And so anyway, that's all I have tonight. So with that in mind, I guess, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. Lacey, please call the roll.
Commissioner Huizinga?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Lorseth?
Aye.
Reitzel?
Aye.
Motion passes. Meeting adjourned.